In the entertainment industry, the people are represented by three separate yet equally important groups: the video game, comic book, and anime reviewers who investigate the media and present their findings. These are their stories.
Bong bong.
Welcome back, everybody, for another episode of Oh Baby a Triple. Here we are with our wonderful hosts, Harry and Joe, all looking beautiful today, posing for the cameras and whatnot.
Just like JoJo's.
Of course. So we have a few topics to talk about. We're going to get into our big one.
Yeah, our big one.
Big one, which is Green Lantern. We're going to talk about the series as a whole from 2004.
Yeah, since 2004 to now is what we're talking about. Okay. So that's 10 plus years of Green Lantern, because Green Lantern's really great.
It is.
And I actually just recently got into it. I started reading the Green Lantern Rebirth from way back when, 2004. And that's a really great, I think 5 or 6 issue miniseries that sort of relaunched Green Lantern. Sort of brought him back to his core, because the whole series was kind of all over the place at that point. All the Green Lanterns were dead. One of the Green Lanterns was a weird alien monster guy. One of the Green Lanterns was dead, and he was literally, he was the Spectre, which is an extension of God. It was weird. Green Lantern was weird at that point, and they sort of just brought it back to its core. And I really appreciate that, because it was a great series. Mm-hmm. Well, what do you have to say about Rebirth?
This was the first comic book I ever picked up, ever. I picked up New 52 Green Lantern, though. And from there, it kept bringing me backwards, saying, oh, you should read this book, and this one, and this one. So as I kept going, I went all the way back to Green Lantern Rebirth. That's where it told me to start. And I just bought paperback trades of every single Green Lantern book that came from Rebirth forward. And I read it all starting from Rebirth, and this was the catalyst of what made me want to get into DC books. This is what got me so heavy into Green Lantern. I convinced myself for the longest time that Green Lantern was my new favorite hero instead of Batman. It's just something I have a big nostalgia heart for. It's hard to get rid of what you remembered so much, and this is what got me into comic book reading also as well. So I got to give a lot of props to Green Lantern for that as well. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to part from that.
Yeah, for me, there isn't much nostalgia in Green Lantern, because I read the New 52 comics a while ago, but I only started reading from, really getting into these are all Green Lantern comics on the table here. I just bought them all over the past year. I've been getting really into it recently, and I'm sort of slowly going from Rebirth to onwards, where I think around 20 issues in, of a 67-issue run before the New 52, and then a 50-issue run so far of the New 52. Yeah. So I'm slowly making my way through Green Lantern, which is pretty exciting. It's been really, really good.
Oh, so yeah.
I'm really loving it.
I guess, with Rebirth, I really can say that was an excellent book. The art is really good. I I personally am a big fan of the way it looks. I ripped my
what's his
teeth.
name? Ethan Van
broke-
Sciver. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but the guy that does this art, look at that. Look at that beautiful art.
I broke my
gorgeous.
teeth. But
Yeah,
like,
he's got it too.
this is also what's inside of the book. This is kind of how it looks.
It's real great stuff.
It's really pretty looking. I love it. It looks so good. Like he could draw action too. He knows how to draw like
his action scenes are pretty fantastic.
This stuff is like crazy looking. Like if someone wants to zoom in on that, but hey, it looks pretty cool. Like it's all like boom, boom. Oh my gosh, look at all the explosions and stuff. It's like crazy. It's madness, but it's so pretty looking. You're like, wow, this is a good looking stuff. I mean, if Joe wants to take a look, I mean, you can take a look at how pretty this
Yeah,
looks.
that looks good.
I mean, this is why.
I like the mushroom guy right there.
Mushroom. Oh my god. Oh, that is a mushroom.
Oh my god.
There's
Yep.
there's like a little
Little
guy
mushroom.
with like a mushroom on his head, and I didn't even see it.
That's like I don't know. if the
That's like I
camera
was
can
talking to
actually
Corey.
I don't
I
know.
was talking to
That little
Corey
thing.
earlier about Green Lanterns and like their designs, and how like in the background of pictures when there's a lot of Green Lanterns, they just kind of make stuff up. And I kind of love that because you can get like some of the most ridiculous looking Green Lanterns.
But it's okay.
I know
'cause if
in the background of one Green Lantern comic, Pikachu is a Green Lantern. Like
What?
there's literally a Pikachu.
that
Just
is
in the background with like a Green Lantern ring wearing a Green Lantern costume. Like they come up with like some of the most ridiculous like silly designs.
That's
I think it's fantastic.
well, I mean, it would make sense anyways because I mean, for God's sakes, they have a squirrel.
Yeah.
They have a squirrel Green Lantern. Like, and you think I'm kidding? It's actually in one of the books I have here. There's a squirrel that is a Green Lantern and flies around and fights and talks, and it's like what?
Yeah, there's a squirrel on the Green Lanterns. There's the Red Lanterns, which are like the Green Lanterns, but like, there's a cat on them. His name is Dexstar. He's just a blue cat with a Red Lantern ring
Oh my God!
on his tail, I think.
And it's on its tail.
Also,
and it spits up blood.
We're talking about like crazy Green Lanterns. Mogo.
Mogo.
He's a member of the Green Lanterns, and he's also their home base right now. He's literally an entire planet.
Yeah.
Like he's a living planet that just on one of his trees, on like the branch on the tree, there's a little Green Lantern ring, and he's literally just a giant planet with Green Lantern powers.
Yep.
He's pretty amazing.
It's awesome. But I guess like we could just kind of like go through what in fact is a Green Lantern though.
That's a good
I
question.
think that's a
Ryan.
really great question for a lot of people that haven't read Green Lantern. They're all like, well, that's fine and dandy with what we just
But
said.
what is Green Lantern?
But what is it? So essentially, do you want to talk about it, or do you want me to say
I
it?
think we could both sort of,
All right.
talk about it.
Sure. All right. I
I don't know, like I'll say something and then you can fill in whatever I'm missing, I guess.
All right, that sounds good.
All right, so
All
like Green Lanterns they're like space cops, where there's like a whole core of them out in space on their planet Oa, and what they have is the Green Lantern rings they're powered by just all the willpower in the universe and the user's willpower, where it's the more willful they are, the stronger they can like form constructions with their Green Lantern ring. Because what it can do is it can form any shape your mind can think of. If you want to make a giant fist, Green Lantern ring gives you a giant green fist. If you want to make a jet plane and fly to Africa in it, then the Green Lantern ring will make you that jet plane. And it's like it can literally make anything, as long as you have the will to form it with the ring.
But there are some that aren't so good, and there's some that are pretty good. Like, and they're not the only ones in the world. There's like other colors.
Yeah, there's every color of the rainbow. There's a Green Lantern. Like you think I'm kidding, but I'm not.
There's red,
Yeah.
blue, violet.
There's
Yellow.
there's
Yeah.
the Sinestro Corps, which is yellow. There's orange, which there's only one orange lantern, Larfleeze, and there's the black and white lanterns. Like there's each lantern color corresponds to another emotion. Whereas like the Green Lanterns are willpower, the yellow lanterns are fear, the orange lanterns are greed, the pink or violet lanterns, like
It's
the
a
star
violet.
sapphires.
Because it goes off of the Roy G. Biv
Yeah.
scale. If you know science, Roy G. Biv, which is the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet.
Yeah.
That's essentially all of the lanterns. They go off of that emotional spectrum.
The star sapphires, which are the violet ones, are love. The indigo tribe is compassion. The blue lanterns are hope, and the red lanterns are rage.
Mm-hmm.
And then the black and white lanterns aren't emotions, but they're life and death.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's pretty cool. There's a whole lot of lanterns.
Yeah, there's a lot that they do with it. There's a lot that happens. a crazy series. Like
Oh, yeah.
essentially, what really like what I was how I view the series is that there is the lead into what I like to call it, which is the Blackest Night series. This is essentially the book that kind of like starts kick off of the Black Lanterns. So this is the big Black Lantern book that occurs, and then after that they have Brightest Day, which was the post Blackest
Yes,
Night,
the aftermath.
and then you essentially have like War of the Green Lanterns. So you have the War of Light, and then you kick off into the New 52. So essentially, there's like that's kind of how I viewed it. There was the Rebirth, then you had Sinestro Corps War, then you have into Blackest Night, and then post Blackest Night,
And then New
War of
52.
Light, and New 52. So that's essentially what it really is.
Yeah, I'm currently at the Sinestro Corps War. Like, I'm about to start that, like the prelude into that. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that was the book I gave my friend because he was interested, and I just had it with me, and I said, "Here, why don't you read this?" And I thought he would be fine with it, and he loved it. He was like, "My gosh, I want to keep reading. I want to read more." And so, therefore, Sinestro Corps was some of like my friends' favorites and stuff like that they really enjoyed. Sinestro Corps War is one of my personal favorites as well because that was a really big event where I finally got to know and understand what the Sinestro Corps was, and Sinestro ended up becoming one of my favorite DC villains.
He's really cool.
The Sinestro, anything that involves the Sinestro Corps for some reason always seems to be great.
Probably explain what who Sinestro is and what the Sinestro Corps is.
You're right. Sorry, Sinestro is a Green Lantern. Well, was a Green Lantern. But what happened was that when he became a Green Lantern, he kind of became like a totalitarianist figure on his home planet against his own people. And he's like, well, I got this power ring, and you should just bow to me and all my will and whatever. So then Hal Jordan found out, and he's kind of like a betrayer essentially of the Green Lantern and what they all stand for. So Hal Jordan essentially just fights Sinestro to the point where he obviously Hal Jordan wins, and Sinestro is.
By the way, Hal Jordan is the Green Lantern.
Yes.
Like, he's Green Lantern.
Hal Jordan is the essential Green Lantern. So Hal Jordan beats Sinestro, and Sinestro is taken and exiled to the antimatter universe, where there he in anger and in frustration he forges the yellow rings. So he essentially creates the Ring of Fear to combat with the Green Lantern of Will.
Yeah.
So essentially, he wants to overcome will by fear, and he makes tons of rings, sends them out into the universe, and essentially creates the Sinestro Corps, which is pretty much a lot of bad guys. Usually, usually they are not good people.
They're all like, it's because the Yellow Lanterns, like the Sinestro Corps, is instead of where the Green Lantern is having a lot of willpower, Yellow Lanterns is the ability to instill fear in others. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of the Yellow Lantern Corps are like monstrous big beings, or like like really violent killers and stuff. Like, they're all pretty bad guys.
Yeah, and essentially there's like a figure that embodies into the yellow rings, which is known as Parallax, who is like this big giant cockroach-looking bug-like creature. I don't know why it looks like a cockroach.
He's like some big space bug monster.
Yeah, he's like a giant space bug monster, and essentially he kind of like he's like the fuel and the catalyst to the Yellow Lantern's rings, and essentially is what keeps them going.
I'd definitely, anyone interested in getting into comics, or anyone that already is into comics and just wants something good to read, I would recommend picking up Green Lantern Rebirth.
You could easily pick this book up. It's a lot easier to pick up the paperback trade than it is for singles. But I mean, if you can find single issues, which this guy
Which
did,
I did.
It's easy to find. It's pretty easy to pick up, and it's not too bad. It's really
the
great.
thing.
It's
the
pretty
thing
great.
I like about it is it's continuity heavy, but you don't need to know that continuity. They do a great job of sort of explaining it, and changing the status quo to where it's very continuity heavy, but it's also a really, really good jumping on point for Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Like, this is where I started reading, and I didn't really know much about Green Lantern prior, and I've had no problem jumping in. So I think it's a great spot for anyone to jump in that's interested.
Oh yeah, and essentially, even still, if you really want to know what happens before then, you can just Wikipedia it. I'm just saying. I mean, that's kind of what I kind of did was I just sort of did a little bit of a Wikipedia jump because I was just kind of interested and I didn't want to go so far back into reading all that because that was a lot of stuff, and it's not easy to find. So I just kind of Wikipedia articled it, and I was like, oh, okay. Then I knew where it was in Rebirth, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. But he is right; they do a really great job with getting you caught up with what they do. Now, Joe over here,
Yes.
I don't want to keep you in the dark. You haven't said a lot, obviously.
Speaking of dark,
But
I mean, the only Green Lantern story I've read was, if you can even call it that, is Blackest Night. This is more like a universe event thing, but there is a big, thing about the Green Lanterns in this. I thought this was really good. Like, the writing was very solid, especially by the end. It was just empowering, and the art was fantastic. Like, how do you pronounce his name?
Show it to the
Ivan Reis.
Ivan Reis.
Ivan Reis does a great job drawing.
Joey, hold it a little more center.
Oh.
There you go.
There
you go. Got it.
Yeah, Ivan Reis does a great job drawing, and I don't know who does colors. There's a whole bunch of credits
There's
before
a lot.
each chapter.
This was a big event
Oh, yeah.
in DC. Blackest Night was huge, and honestly, it was one of the best. It was, after that, I was like, nothing can top that. And honestly, I've yet to see anything that has topped Blackest Night
Yeah, definitely.
when it comes to like big events like that.
And there's like a huge lead into Blackest Night too. I'm only 17 issues into Green Lantern. They're already laying the seeds for Blackest Night.
Yeah. Essentially, that's why I
Yeah.
liked it so much, because it's everything in Rebirth forward is kind of like laying the ground rules that you know that Blackest Night is going to be coming.
Yeah.
They always bring it up in
Like,
like
they've been
as a
teasing it.
prophecy.
Like they keep the Guardians who we were talking about before. They keep mentioning like in passing the Blackest Night. Like they keep mentioning something's coming.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
It is really good. And then they also have some tie-in books that's like prologue to Blackest Night. So you can read those as like kind of like flavor, which you could read like about like the Red Lanterns, the Blue Lanterns, the Orange Lanterns, the Star Sapphire Lanterns, stuff like that. So essentially you could do that kind of thing. Like you could read those before reading that, but they're more or less just for flavor and just for fun and whatever, and just kind of like everything like that. But for the most part, Blackest Night was a great book. And it's one of the best ones other than Sinestro
Yeah,
Corps.
absolutely. It's fantastic.
That was our thoughts on Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend Green Lantern. It's really great. It's fun. It's a lot of action. It's really cool. It's what got me into comics, and I'd recommend it to anybody that wants to read comics.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it to anybody, especially if you're interested in getting into comics, like Ryan said. It's a great way to jump in. It's a great place to sort of get to know all the different characters, because it's not just about Green Lantern. It's about all these different characters, and different characters like guest star in different issues and stuff. So it's a pretty great series, and I definitely recommend it to anyone interested.
Okay.
Okay.
So, hey, Joe, you haven't been talking a while.
No, not really.
I feel really bad. How
No,
you
it's
doing?
cool. You guys need to talk about Green Lantern, and I haven't read most of
But
it.
now we're going to talk about Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem.
Well, actually, no. I can't really. I can talk about Awakening, but
Yeah, I can
You
talk.
guys-
I can talk about Awakening. I
Okay,
can't
but-
talk about Fates.
Heck-
I'd love
I'm
to.
the only one here that's played Fates.
technically
Yeah.
all three of us could talk about it, but hey.
I do want to play Fates really bad.
It's real good.
Like every time I play Awakening, and then every time I see Dan play Fates, I just want to play Fates that much more. But Awakening is still really good.
He's playing Fate's Conquest, and you're playing Birthright? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because there's two separate games
Yeah.
and stuff for the Fates. But let's talk about Fire Emblem Awakening, because this was
Yeah.
really important for Fire Emblem.
It's
It's
this
a big game.
Fire Emblem Awakening is hugely important in the series, regardless of your opinion of it, because I know there's a lot of hardcore fans that don't like it, because
Yeah.
it's a lot easier, it's simpler than like the older games. But Awakening is the game that brought Fire Emblem to a bigger audience. Awakening was actually supposed to be like the last Fire Emblem game,
It was, yeah.
and it was basically all or nothing. It was, all right, this is our last game, let's go big, let's make it the best game we can. If it does well, it does well. If it doesn't, this is the last game. It did really, really well, and that's why we have 2 new Fire Emblem games that just came out.
Yeah.
With a third one on the way, like digitally.
Hey!
Was the series also doing bad in Japan?
Yeah, just in general, it just wasn't doing well. And
Okay.
Awakening was huge,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, it was. I remember the whole thing with the Nintendo, not the Nintendo, but the GameStop pre-order problem, where like they just didn't have enough stock to let pre-orders go through. And pretty much the only way you could get the game, if you didn't already pre-order it, was if you got the 3DS that came with Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
And that was kind of scary when I wanted to get the game on launch date that I couldn't pre-order it. I was like, oh, God. So I had to wait for Best Buy to restock, and then I got the game.
I didn't get the game till like I want to say like a few months. I got it like last year.
Yeah.
Like during spring semester of my last year of college, I got Fire Emblem Awakening, and I like it. I like it a lot. Like I mean, I have never played any other Fire Emblem game ever.
Yeah, neither have I.
But it was fun.
Yeah, it's a very fun game.
It's a great game, and that's probably why it did so well. Is better than any other game in the series. I think it's a great entry point for new players.
Yes,
Like
definitely.
it's very like new player friendly. Like it's
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it
Whereas,
really
like,
is.
all the other games they can get pretty hard. They're not very forgiving. Whereas Awakening is pretty much just it's a lot simpler. It's a lot easier. Which I know, like I said earlier, a lot of hardcore old fans aren't a fan of that, which is actually good because of Fates.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that in a bit.
We'll get to that in a bit.
But yeah, Awakening is pretty fantastic, and it really did a lot for the series.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
and like leading into Fates, like this game, people had trouble getting their hands on, so I guess Nintendo kind of realized that with Fates. And Fates sold 300,000 copies in North America in the opening weekend.
Yeah.
That it's like, yeah, the series is definitely like the phoenix that rised from the ashes. It's been doing very well.
This is also for people that also don't know what the gameplay is like for this game. It's essentially just like
It's a strategy RPG.
It's a strategy RPG. So you take your character, you move it a certain amount of spaces, and you're essentially just you're doing like tactical fighting. So you have to know what character will beat this said guy, based on their weaknesses, or if they don't have weaknesses or whatever, or by their skills and which character you think could do it best. Things like that. So essentially, it's just.
Unlike a lot, I'm sorry. Do you want to keep going?
Oh no, no, not
Like,
at all,
okay,
Joe.
all right.
Just cut me off.
I'm sorry, man. All right. Unlike a lot of traditional RPGs or action RPG. Unlike a lot of traditional RPGs and action RPGs, you don't need to level grind in order to be good at this game or to like get through it easily. You just need to think and read the numbers and do the math and just strategize. And Fire Emblem has been really good about that because there are times where I feel like maybe my characters are a little underleveled and just getting that extra one is the difference between failing a chapter and passing a chapter. But many times it's just, all right, which of these people do I make bait for the enemy to come out so then I can take my characters from the rest of the pack and just, go ham.
But Joe,
Yes.
math is boring.
Math is boring
Math's stupid. Why should I play Fire Emblem if it makes me do math?
because it's fun math, Ryan.
By the way, I don't like math. I have a very strong hatred towards math.
I mean,
But
I
anyways,
didn't like it in high school.
I never liked math. But honestly, what he just said with the whole math thing, that you don't need to do math. You have to just look. You just have to read.
I
You
mean, yeah.
You just gotta look at things. You have to plan. That's all it really is. It's not math.
There's like addition and subtraction.
You'd never say that name in front of me again. Don't ever say addition.
Subtraction.
That's like a trigger.
Trigger warning, math and subtraction.
Math and subtraction. I'm just kidding. No, math is just horrible.
Eh. It's all right.
Why are we talking about math?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I'm really tired.
What is this?
Just so you know,
You
I'm
slept for 12 hours.
I'm still exhausted though. I want more sleep.
Jesus.
Hey, I stayed up for a long time yesterday. Okay, I stayed up for a long time. You silly Billy. By the way, everybody can know that I'm really, really tired and all that stuff. So I've kind of gone a little crazy. So I apologize in advance.
Anyways, Harry,
Yeah.
how is Birthright in relation to Awakening? Because I've heard that
the thing is, with the Fates games, you have Birthright and you have Fates. Fates is two different games. It's Birthright and Conquest.
Yeah.
Birthright is Awakening 2.
Yeah.
It plays just like Awakening. It's pretty much just Awakening with a new story. Whereas Conquest is more like the older games.
Yeah.
And there's a more of a variance in missions. It's a lot harder. So that's what I really think is cool about Fire Emblem Fates. Is a lot of old fans complained about Awakening being too different. So with Fates, they made a game for the old fans and for the new fans, which I think is really, really cool.
Yeah, I really like that aspect of it. Even though I'm a new fan to the series, I started with Awakening. I think I'm going to go with Conquest because from what I've been hearing about Conquest, it sounds more varied in terms of its chapters. Like you do more things or you need to do more things and you have to plan for that. And I like the character designs more. I like the kind of the look, so to say. And I could go for a challenge because Awakening has been pretty easy. And I think I'd have fun with the challenge. I'm definitely gonna play Birthright too because Fates is like it's a whole thing.
Yeah, the thing with Fates is each game has a different story, and if you really want the whole story, you're gonna have to play all of them. Because it's like there's the story of Fates is it's a war between two families, the Nor and the Hoshido, and you follow the Nor in Conquest and the Hoshido in Birthright. So if you want like the whole story, you really have to play both versions.
And then there's the DLC that comes out March.
Yeah. There's going to be the Revelations DLC, which is its own third full game, which really it's more of like a neutral route between the two of them. So it's really more of like a bit of both sides, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me.
Yeah.
And what else can we talk about with Fire Emblem? Are there any good older games for the fans to play that haven't played?
I
any
haven't
of them?
played many of them. Sacred Stones is the first Fire Emblem game I've ever played for the GBA.
Yeah, that was like the second one that came out,
Yeah.
right?
I've played the first two. Like I played Fire Emblem, which is the one with Roy.
Roy, yeah.
And I played Sacred Stones. Those are the two that I played when I was little.
Did you ever play the GameCube one?
No.
Because that one I know is really popular
It's
amongst
also
fans.
really expensive.
Yeah.
So that's why I've never played it.
There's also the Wii game, which I don't know if that's expensive as well.
They're both really expensive.
Yeah.
So I don't have those ones. I'd like to.
I
play them
knew
eventually.
a friend back in the day that played Fire Emblem on the GameCube, and I think that was where I first heard about it. Definitely, that was where I first heard about Fire Emblem. Besides like Smash Brothers, where I feel like most people first discovered like Roy and Marth and Ike and all those guys. And yeah, Fire Emblem's fun. Fire Emblem's real fun.
Yes, good game.
And yeah,
I'm afraid to open my mouth again because I feel like I'm going to say something really dumb.
like what?
Like the whole math thing. I'm not doing a 3P here.
3P.
Oh, sorry. Wait, hold on. Would it be just a repeat? Go ahead, because I did it once. See, I'm already on a roll.
Repeat.
I'm already
He's
on a roll.
already doing it.
All right. Fire
Alright.
Emblem Awakening is a really good game, and I think everyone should get it. It's really fun. I enjoy it. It's good for new players, especially if you want to get involved in something cool. I'm talking in a monotone voice.
It's a nice little wrap up. Nice
Yeah,
little,
it
little,
is.
Summary.
Yeah, no problem.
So
Thanks, friend.
No problem, buddy. Oh, God, I almost started deleting the second thing.
Pokemon Moo.
Yeah, although...
Pokemon game entirely about cows.
So,
I'd buy it.
I'd buy it. Like was
You
the
just-
Pokemon
all the
Moo?
characters are cows. Like you just fight with cows.
you just see, like...
What was the
just
one
like,
cow
yes,
character
no.
like Moo Moo?
Miltank.
Miltank.
Oh,
All you
Miltank?
play is Miltank.
It's just all you play as is a cow. They just fight each other. They
So,
just slap each other with their udders.
Oh god, jeez.
ew, gross.
Yeah, it's gross. That's the
Yeah,
idea.
You get that like splishy splash sound effect.
Ooh, ew.
Everyone's covered in milk. Not
So-
even like processed milk, like just the one with all the cream and stuff like that.
Ew, no. Oh, no.
I'm gonna say it doesn't
no.
taste very good.
No,
I had a
it-
lot of farmer friends growing up, and they gave me like completely just unfiltered cow milk, and wow, that stuff's strong.
Yeah, I would assume. It's like
I'd
straight
imagine
from
it's
an
probably
udder.
gross.
Wait, what?
I'd imagine it's pretty gross.
Yeah, yeah. They do a lot of stuff to milk before you drink it. Shocking enough.
I'm not surprised.
I'm happy. I'm happy they do.
Yeah.
Me too. Well,
So
before we actually went off on this weird tyrant of milk, Pokemon Direct came out, which was a video.
Yeah, the Pokemon
Yes.
Direct.
Yeah, that was the
Today, the day that we're filming this, is Pokemon's 20th anniversary, February 27th.
Is it?
Woo!
Yes.
I thought that was yesterday.
Yesterday is the 27th in Japan.
Oh, okay.
So it's the 27th here
Yeah.
Okay,
today.
Okay, I guess my big Happy
It is still the 20th anniversary.
Still the
It's the
20th
27th.
anniversary.
It's Nintendo America's celebrating it today.
Yes.
The only reason we got the Direct yesterday is because that's when it aired in Japan.
Yeah.
But all the big festivities and stuff is today.
Yes.
But yesterday, during the like 5-minute long Nintendo Direct that they had,
I wish it was longer.
they showed off new Pokemon games, Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. They didn't show too much about them. They just kind of announced them and showed some concept art. So we didn't really get much information. I'm still super duper excited because it's a new Pokemon game, and that's always exciting for me. And the concept art that they did show was really cool. There's this one of like, did you look at the concept art?
For what one?
Just the whole in the video?
I looked at
Did you
it.
like watch the video?
Yeah, I did watch the video.
Okay.
I did.
There's the part with the cars.
Yeah.
There's one, it's a fire
Oh,
truck.
that's right.
And it has a Blastoise sitting in the
Oh
back.
my God.
So he's the host. He just sits there and he just shoots water at the fire. I
Yeah,
thought
I
that was
did
really
see
funny
that.
looking.
Yeah.
So I thought the concept art was really cool. I thought it was really cool looking. The hotel I think was really pretty.
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah. It does.
I'm excited to see how they implement all this stuff into the actual game. Because the way something I think it's really cool. This looks more like world building sort of stuff.
It
Like
does,
It's a
yeah.
lot more like real world practical stuff in this game. Like there's a hotel. You see a motel in one of them.
Yeah, you see a motel.
There's like an ambulance. There's just a regular pickup truck. There's the fire truck.
Yeah, there's
it's
a
like
lot
it
of
seems
stuff.
like they're trying to make this more of a cohesive, real, like a little more believable world than the previous games, which I think is pretty cool. I'd always like to see more, more of that world.
Yeah. I also, speaking of the Direct, I really like how with the 3DS ports of the
Oh, yeah.
Gen 1, how you can transport that to Pokemon Cloud.
Yeah. Pokemon
Is
Red,
it
Blue, and
Cloud?
Yellow came to the Nintendo Virtual Console on the 3DS today, which means you can download and play the original games on your 3DS. And they added this feature where you never like before you can't transfer games Pokemon from Red and Blue all
Yeah.
the way up to the current X and Y. But now you can with the Virtual Console games. You can transfer them into the Pokemon Bank, which, like Joe said, is a cloud service. That's like a storage service for just Pokemon from all the different games. And you can store them in that and then put them in the new game. So you can have your Charizard from Red in Pokemon Moon and Sun when they come out.
Or like a level 100 Mewtwo.
Yeah, like you can do all that stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah, I
Because
really
you've never
like
been
that
able to do that
feature.
before.
One thing I didn't know is that I didn't know you could transfer your GBA Pokemon to like your DS and 3DS. I guess that's why they have the wireless adapter, which
Yeah.
I thought was really I had no idea that was a thing
Well, what you
until
did
yesterday.
to transfer the GBA ones, you had to put them in the GBA card
Oh,
on the
that's
bottom.
right.
And then
yeah.
you could go into the game and you could transfer them.
Yeah,
It was like, I think you had to do like download play or something.
I think
Like it was
so.
something stupid.
It was
I thought
something
a
like
wire
that.
Transfer.
No.
No,
It was,
no.
you had, because you know how the DS had the DS port and the GBA port.
Yeah.
So you'd
Oh,
put
yeah.
Pokemon Diamond in the DS port and Pokemon Ruby in the GBA port. And then it would,
It
do
would transfer that way,
stuff between them.
Oh, okay.
which is some like super cool software engineering.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing. I mean, Pokemon's always had those feats, like fitting all of Kanto into Johto,
Oh, yeah. That was
like all
amazing.
that stuff. That's just
That's what I'm hoping. A lot of people are hoping, since with Sun and Moon, they're skipping over the third version of X and Y. Like, we're not getting
they
a
are.
Z.
We're not getting Z.
So it's a lot of people are hoping that they're gonna do like what they did with Gold and Silver,
yeah.
where they brought back Kanto and you get more of the Kanto story. Is they're gonna bring Kalos, which was a relatively small region, into Sun and Moon afterwards.
That'd be
So you'll
cool.
actually get the Z story, like at least bits of it.
Yeah.
Like what it would be if there was a Z. So I think that would be a really really cool idea. I'm really hoping that's what happens.
I
although
wouldn't be
doubt it will be.
surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if they made a new cart for the 3DS that had more, storage or whatever.
So
'Cause-
like a new 3DS card.
Well, like just they just develop a specific 3DS cart that's bigger than a normal 3DS
Mm.
cart, and just so they could fit all that data,
Mm.
because Pokemon games are big.
Yeah.
They are very big. They have a lot of assets.
And that's actually another thing. This is just total theory, rumor territory. This is not true at all. I saw people speculating that maybe the reason why we didn't get any gameplay is because it might be an NX title. Because the NX is supposed to be, apparently, according to like patents and stuff, it's supposed to be a console handheld hybrid.
Yes.
So it would make sense for the next Pokemon game to be on that.
yes.
And since that's coming out later this year or early 2017, and this is coming out later this year or early 2017, like people are speculating that maybe it's going to be a launch title for the NX.
That would
which
That
would
would be
move
some-
consoles. Like it would move units. Like that would be incredible.
if that's the case, that is some great marketing right there.
Like, that would be
like that is
Like I personally,
Potty mouth! We
I
don't
personally don't think
we don't get to happen.
that's what's gonna happen.
yes.
Like I think it's gonna be a 3DS game.
Did I?
But oh my god, that would be amazing if it was.
Yes, that would be ingenious.
Wouldn't that be incredible?
Yes.
Because like the Wii U, when it launched, it didn't do a good job with its
No,
launch.
no, it didn't.
Nintendo needs a good launch. The 3DS didn't do a good launch either. I mean, they recovered from it. The Wii U never recovered from it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's unfortunate.
the NX needs a good launch. Like they need to nail this launch.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And more than anything else, it's like if they put a Pokemon game and a Mario game in the launch, they're pretty much good. Like they're done.
Yeah,
Like,
like-
that's really all they need for a good launch. I mean, I'd love more. but that's what they need for a good
I
launch.
wish they showed gameplay, but at
Yeah.
the same time, if that's what they're doing, if that's their idea, like, hey, let's make this an NX title, it's probably not that far in then, like, because they're developing for a whole new hardware all over again. So
Yeah.
that would make sense to me.
So I would love if that was true. I mean, I personally, I doubt that's what's going to happen. Pokemon
Yeah.
tends to lag behind a bit.
Yeah.
So I doubt they're going to be on the forefront of the, NX.
Wasn't Black and White 2, didn't that come out around the same time as the 3DS?
Yeah, like we didn't get a DS Pokemon game until like pretty far into the DS's life.
Like 2000,
like, a couple of
2006,
years.
2007.
Yeah, it
somewhere
came out in
around there.
2007 here and 2006 in Japan.
Yeah.
So like we didn't get it until like a little bit after into it. Same thing with X and Y. That wasn't until like a while into the
Yeah. That was like
3DS's life.
2 years.
So like, I wouldn't expect them to automatically immediately make an NX title,
Yeah.
just because of they've never really done that before.
No.
But I would love it. I
That
would
would be
love if
awesome.
that was the case. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Because we've never really had a home console Pokemon like main series
Yeah,
adventure.
like a flagship
and
Pokemon.
since this could be a hybrid, we could get it as both, which would be
Yeah.
really cool.
And they'd probably develop it so it would work on a TV as well.
That's like the idea. That's like the rumors behind it. With it, it's going to be like a hybrid where, like the gamepad, how it's got the little screen and stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be like that, but you could actually take the gamepad places.
Which is awesome.
And it's like you could put the carts in the gamepad, and it could play them either on the TV or on.
or on a like
or
on your
just on
little
your
gamepad
handheld.
thing.
Like the PS TV that you have.
Yes,
It'd
like
be
the
like
Vita
that.
TV.
It'd
yeah.
be just like that, which would be really cool.
Yeah, if I had a Vita, that'd be great because then I could just, play in my bed and then I could take it out and when I wanted a TV, I could just put it in there and
Yeah.
do that. But Vitas are very expensive and PS TVs are cheap.
Hmm.
So I just bought a PS TV.
And that's like it would be both of them combined.
Yeah.
That's what the NX would be, which I'm hoping is because we don't know what it is. This is all unconfirmed.
Yeah.
I'm hoping because that's like my number one wish is that we get that hybrid thing and it actually works.
It
That would be
actually
cool
works.
if it's not poopy, but so yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's all my wishes, my hopes and dreams.
I really do wonder how they would make that work too, because you basically have to have the same hardware in both units. So like you'd have console grade hardware and a handheld, and then you need that same hardware in the console. And talking to each other shouldn't be that much of a problem, but it's just that'd be a very expensive handheld.
Yeah, it's gonna be really expensive.
Yeah.
But they've said right now they're gonna have like industry leading chips in it apparently. Like it's gonna be like top of the line. Like
Yeah.
everyone there's like dev kits have gone out for it already, and everyone that has it says it's amazing. Like they've
Dang.
all been saying like they're really impressed with like this whatever Nintendo's next console is gonna be. Like they're really impressed with it, and so I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's gonna be good.
And like we've had, like the PS4 and the Xbox One have shown that it is possible to fit very top of the line hardware in like a chip that
Yeah.
big. Like if Nintendo's doing what I think they're going to do, they're probably going to use like a hybrid graphics processor central processor thing. So that is great for power efficiency and portability.
Yeah.
Like just size management.
Because I'd imagine it's not. If this is what happens, it's not gonna be the size of a 3DS.
No,
It's
gonna
gonna be
bigger.
a pretty big handheld system. It's gonna be something you can take around like people take around like an iPad or something.
Yeah.
It's gonna be it's still gonna be portable, but it's gonna be pretty big.
Yeah, it's gonna be like lugging around a netbook or a tablet. Like
Yeah.
it's portable and you can use it, but it's not like something that you throw in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's like something you throw in your backpack or a purse or something.
So I'm pretty excited for what 2016 has in store for Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
So it's pretty a lot of big stuff coming.
On paper, it sounds like they've got it down.
Yeah.
Like they've spent their time. They've learned from the Wii U. They have like their ideas, and now it sounds like they're trying to solidify them to be more marketable. And hopefully it goes well.
Yeah.
Despite my disdain towards Pokemon in general, I hope it does well as well. I want Nintendo to keep doing well, and I do know that the Pokemon series is loved by a lot of people, and I hope that it comes that all my friends that like Pokemon, they're all happy that it turned out the way it did. And I want people to be happy with what they got, and I just hope for the best with that too. But I could care less about Pokemon. Regardless if I care less about Pokemon, I still want it to do well though. So I agree.
My interest in Pokemon has definitely been resurging in the past couple of years because I haven't played a new Pokemon game since Emerald on the GBA, and I don't know why, but I've been getting more interested with it as of late, and I think Moon and Sun are coming out at a great time for me because now I actually really do want to play a Pokemon game again, and this is not too far from now.
Yeah, they're coming out probably November.
Yeah,
Like I can almost guarantee it's coming out the week before Black Friday.
yeah,
That's when Nintendo launches their big titles.
They're big
And
titles.
I can almost guarantee that's when
Oh,
Sun and Moon are
absolutely.
coming out. So, yeah.
And I mean, I always buy Nintendo's handhelds. I haven't bought a console from them in a long time. The last console I bought was the Wii. So if this NX comes out and it is like a hybrid portable TV console kind of thing, that'd be great because I still have my Nintendo Portable, but I also have a brand new Nintendo consoles that I can get like Mario and Zelda and
that's
Smash.
I think that's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be an expensive console. I have no illusions as to how expensive it's going to be.
Easily $400 or $500.
But it's going to be. I'm buying it as soon as it comes out. Like as soon as they announce it is when I'm going to start saving up for it.
Yeah.
And then by the time it comes out, I'm just going to buy it like right away. I don't even care.
I'm definitely going to plan more once they like release the hardware and the specs and the prices and stuff. How's it going, Ryan? But yeah, I definitely want to save as well because I'm also trying to buy a PS4 for Kingdom Hearts 3. So it's a lot of money management.
Oh yeah.
But I am very, very interested. What are you doing, Ryan? Ryan?
I think we want to cut the commercial.
All right, let's cut to commercial.
All right, we're gonna cut the commercial. When we come back, but before we go, I'm messing this up again. This is the second week in a row I'm gonna mess this up.
Oh my God, just do it.
All right. Before we come back, here's an Andrew's food review. I hate it.
Your prescription is not as strong as some of my friends. Like I can actually kind of see through your glasses.
Yeah, no, I can see all right. Actually, I can just do this throughout the rest of this show. But we're back. Hey guys, sorry about talking about my prescription glasses, but we're back. So after that wonderful nice long discussion about pocket monsters, let's talk about some of our favorite animus of 2015.
2015 was a very good season. Not season. There are 4 seasons in a year.
Yes, there is.
2015 was a very good year for anime, in my opinion. There was a lot of interesting stuff that happened as far as like news, like the Kekai Sensen finale being delayed for 3 months, the Osamatsu thing with like the Blu-ray selling 100,000 copies because they got sued out the wazoo.
I have no idea what any of those things are, but I'm just gonna shake my head like I pretend like I know what you're talking about.
We talked about Osamatsu on the show.
Did
we
we?
talked about last year.
Yeah.
What was it?
Like last season. It was like the comedy thing that parodied everything and then got into a lot of legal trouble.
That show, the one that gets in a lot of trouble for parody.
Yeah,
that's
and
funny.
it recently got in trouble because yet again it was very coarse and parents were like, "Hey, could we maybe not do that on TV, please? Save it for the Blu-rays." But that's Osamatsu-san.
The
but
controversial anime.
The controversial anime of 2015. Not many of those happen. But, so, we have some of our favorite shows. Do you want to start off with this, Ryan?
Should I?
I mean, on the PowerPoint thingy, you do have that there.
Okay. So the one show I started to really watch that I thought was really good was known as Seraph of the End. It's a really good show about vampires because vampires are cool because Twilight made vampires cool again. I'm pretty sure they did. Did they?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
they
these are
did.
not Twilight vampires. Though,
They're
at
not
least.
Twilight
They're
vampires.
actually like legitimately they're like romantic vampires, but at the
Yeah.
same time they are vampires, like legit vampires.
They're keeping in line with the tradition of all the vampires being really pretty because they are.
They
Like
are.
all of them are really pretty.
Decent, pretty hot vampires.
Yeah,
I
there
mean,
are.
They have like long flowing hair. They're all like wearing these nice white flowy gowns.
They have
and,
big
like,
sparkly eyes.
Oh yeah, but they will kill you in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah,
They just love to kill.
they want blood.
And it's great, and I loved it, and I thought the show was really good, and I love the art style,
Yeah.
especially the painted backgrounds.
Oh, those painted backgrounds were just such a pleasant
It
surprise.
really was. I thought the painted backgrounds really complemented like the foreground as well, because like the foreground looked like regular anime, then the background just looked
Or
like
just
a
these, like,
painted,
Beautifully
canvas.
detailed canvases.
It's so nice, so gorgeous. It made me happy. The action scenes
Well,
when
it's
they
me.
had them were really good. This
Oh,
kind of
Studio Wit really knows how to make an action scene.
oh yeah. It was kind of slow. I will admit.
There were points.
It's a slow series sometimes. Like it will get interesting and then it'll get a little slow. Then it'll try and pick itself back up and then.
I think a lot of it is necessary though, and when it is slow, it has amazing payoff at the end. Like all of season 2 was like that. Like the first half was pretty exposition-y and dialogue and character development with some action scenes, but then the back half, like oh my god, it's
Yeah.
like we got we got like an entire long action sequence every episode.
Yeah, it was really great. And then season 2, it was the same deal. Like it was slow at first. It was a little slow in the beginning. And then after a while, it started to pick itself back up by like, I want to say episode 5 was the episode where it threw itself
In
back
season
into
2?
action. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say around there.
I'd say episode 5 was where it threw itself back into action spree. And it was pretty much action until the rest of to the end of the series.
Yes.
And it was really good. And I loved it. And it was awesome. And
So pretty.
and I'm not sure if they're going to make a season 3 yet. They haven't confirmed yet denied
They
it.
haven't announced it.
They haven't announced it, but they definitely left it open to a third season.
Oh,
which
yeah.
I would love to see them do a third season. This needs to get a third season.
I would be very happy if there was a third season. If
Yeah.
not,
Well,
you know, it's the anime
They
industry.
did-
Things happen like
they
that.
did catch up with the manga though.
They did catch up with the
So
manga.
the show is caught up with the manga as of right now. So that's I think the only thing.
I spoiled myself pretty hard around like episode 10 because I went to like chapter 30, late 30 something of the manga, and like the big thing that happened in like episode 10 was the very first page of that chapter. I was like, wow, of all the things that I could have seen from this manga, that had to be it. Nice.
You done goofed, kid.
I don't goof.
He done goofed, guys. He did it. I'm making faces.
Yeah, I saw it on the TV.
I'm making faces. I'm trying to be happy.
All right.
But I'm
but,
just tired.
Yeah, Seraph was good stuff.
Yeah, Seraph was really good.
What's your other anime that you
Mine?
liked?
I thought we were gonna go to you, but I guess.
Okay, I guess we can go my top pick of the year. I talked about the show a decent amount last year. I think I talked about it a few times on the show. Young Blackjack, which is a prequel series to Blackjack, a classic medical manga from Osamu Tezuka, and this is my first Blackjack I saw, and I loved it. I love medical drama, even like cheesy medical drama. I don't know why.
This
I
was,
shouldn't-
this
General
was cheesy.
Hospital.
This was so cheesy. I need to watch Grey's Anatomy with my mom sometime because
Oh,
she's been watching Grey's since like it started, and that was a long time ago.
If I was gonna be honest, there are some times where I do sit down in my living room and watch Grey's Anatomy with my own mother.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Mama's boy.
Hey,
I'm just kidding. No.
love your mother.
But, hey,
But
love your parents.
Love
in
your
general.
parents in general.
But anyways.
But your mother is willing to
Digress.
put up with more things than ever. But anyways, yeah, well, Young Blackjack was a really
What's
good
that?
show. You are still at like episode 8, right?
I'm on episode 8. I just haven't gotten anywhere because I got really busy last semester and I just got really busy in general. Therefore, I just haven't been able to pick it back up. But I was trying this past week, but then it got so busy this week that I just couldn't get past episode 8. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna try again next week or possibly this weekend. I might just do it like soon.
Yeah.
I could do it like tonight. I can finish the whole series.
Yeah,
And
it's only 4
I
episodes.
like the show a lot. I
Yeah.
just could not put it on my favorite anime list because I haven't
haven't
completed
finished
it.
it.
So therefore, I felt like it wasn't fair. It would be kind of bleh if I didn't finish it. I mean, I wanna finish
Yeah, I feel you.
Young Blackjack. But I love this series. I completely agree with you.
I
like it.
I knew by like episode 5 that this was going to be pretty high up there, but somehow this like show that just kind of came out of nowhere just really broke the top for me.
I love that intro though.
The intro's
song.
great. It's so unfitting to the entire show. Like you have flowers and
Well, no, they're being shot up and stuff.
yeah,
like that.
okay, they are
Like
with the Vietnam arc.
Yeah, with the Vietnam arc, that's what it's from.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Like the visuals represent the show really well. The song itself is just really good on its own.
I like the song a lot. I like the ending theme too.
I love the music in the opening and ending that I actually put out on my iPod. I listen to it
I
often.
would, but if I could find it.
I have it on my iPod and I listen to it all the time and it's really great and I love it. It's super good.
But yeah, Young Blackjack was
Yep.
good. What's
Young
another anime you like from this year?
This one's a special one, Joe. This one is one of the funniest anime I have ever seen in my entire life. Like, I mean, usually I don't typically watch comedy anime because usually it's really, really stupid and really, really dumb.
They can grate on you.
Yeah. But this was one of those few series that I could actually, if I was to binge watch it, I could binge watch this. Like, I could actually sit down and watch the whole series from beginning to end easily.
Oh, I could
And
too.
it's consistently funny. And it's consistently interesting. And that show is Prison School. Now,
Prison School is I should have watched the show as it aired. I just from what I saw of the concept art and from what I was seeing on my social media, I was like, the show is just gonna be censored as heck on TV.
it was censored. It was censored heavily. But honestly,
I should just bite the bullet and watch it.
you should just watch it regardless because honestly, even censored, it was pretty. It was
Yeah.
so you got an idea. You know what you were looking at.
Yeah,
So,
they
I
didn't
mean,
hide it.
Let's just say it's a lot of fan servicey kind of like joke, but like I don't know. I don't want to say it's a fan servicey show.
It's definitely not.
It's
It's
not
more
fan
than
service.
fan service.
Yeah. Okay. So essentially, what it is about these three guys. They are four. Yeah, you're right. Cause there's four friends. They kind of get together and they thought to themselves, hey, it'd be kind of funny if we try to peek into the girls' changing room, and things just fall apart like so fast that to a point where they were caught, and they were caught by the
vice president.
the vice president and the president of the school,
Yeah.
where they are like almost like dictatorship kind of like mean people.
Yeah.
And these four guys are the only guys that go to a school mainly consisting of females. So they're like the only guys there, and they get sent into a prison, which is a school. In their school, there's a prison in the middle of a lot.
Didn't they
and-
build this prison specifically for them?
Yes, they
Yeah,
built the prison
they did.
specifically for them, so they would lock them in prison and would make them stop thinking about that kind of stuff.
That kind of stuff.
Like no, you can't start peeving on girls and stuff like that and whatever. So they essentially throw them into prison and just make them go through torture.
Just hell.
It's so funny though. Like it sounds horrible. It just sounds like it's not going to be a good show. I thought it wasn't going to be good.
I thought it was gonna be much more serious than what it was, and it's just hilarious.
It's just how they animate them. Like when
Yeah.
they animate the characters' faces and just how they react to things is what made it so funny.
Yeah, they drew
It's just-
they drew some good faces. They
Like-
drew some very good faces.
Like their reactions to everything was so spot on, and I was like constantly laughing. And most of the jokes were just so dirty, and it was so funny, and it was just like it's just one of those really great pushing the envelope kind of show.
The delivery is absolutely what made that show for me.
But the best part, I have to bring him up, is our wonderful
Oh, I know who you're talking
principal
about.
of the school. Who the principal is like one of the vice president. Oh wait, the student council president's daughter.
Isn't it like vice president's daughter?
No, it's the.
Oh,
it's
it is the
student
president.
It is the president and the principal are related to each other.
Yeah.
Now the principal doesn't have a really good relationship with her father because he's always into looking into let's just say
He has a couple magazines in his desk.
Yeah, he has a couple. He has
more than a couple.
He has a nice mouse pad that he likes to put his wrists on, which are butts.
Yeah.
But whatever.
He likes butts a lot.
He likes butts a lot, and it is one of the funniest things ever. I'm sure you've seen gifs of it online where he digs a hole, takes his butt pictures and pours it in, and pours cement over it and starts crying.
Yeah,
and
I've
he
seen
salutes him away. It's so good, and I'm like, oh my god. And it's just that's
a
what
great
that's what
character.
the show is. It's just a giant
Just a joke. It's a big joke.
and it never stops being funny. I had never seen a show that has kept me that entertained, especially as a comedy, all the way through from beginning to end.
I mean, I like comedy anime, not all the time. Like, obviously, it can be taxing.
Yeah.
But this show, I could easily see this show just being like boom, 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 just watching episode after episode.
Oh yeah.
Because there is
It's-
plot to it too. Like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
other stuff
You-
that goes on.
You're rooting for these guys to get out of this prison because they treat them horrifically bad. Like
Yeah,
they're
they are
like
not
whipping
treated
them,
well.
they're like beating them, they're kicking them, they're like pretty much destroying every semblance of their existence. And
Yep.
it is so cruel, but sometimes so funny.
It's really funny.
It's just like one of those things where you're like, you want them to escape. You're rooting for their escape, and that's most of the driving point of the show is that you want.
It's
how
like
are
an
they gonna
underdog
get
story.
out? How are they going to get out of prison? And they keep either digging themselves a hole or they have this hope that they're going to make it. And it keeps you on the edge of your seat. There's a lot of tension in those moments, and I love it. It's
Yes.
so good. I could not praise Prison School any higher than I could. But
And then we have our next one,
which is
Assassination Classroom. Harry, do you want to talk a little bit about Assassination Classroom?
Is good.
It is good. It's a very good show.
I think it's the only 2015 anime that I watched to completion.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Because
I don't have much to talk about here.
because we did watch Kekai, but
I didn't finish that though. I watched like the first 3 episodes and quit.
You watched the first 3? I thought you watched a little more than that.
I gave up really quickly. I got bored with it.
I watched the whole thing. Just to quickly talk about Kekai Sensen. It was good in concept, and it looked nice, and the characters were interesting, and by if you looked at them as pilot episodes, like individual just things, it could have had potential, but as a complete narrative, it was a mess.
Yeah, the show had no idea where it was going.
It didn't.
It was a different show every single episode, but not in like a good way.
It
It had no idea what it was doing.
It was like one episode was about the kid trying to do stuff with trying to do stuff to cure his sister of blindness or something. I think that's what happened. Then the second episode had to do with vampires.
Oh, it's writing it backwards.
What's
That's
that?
weird.
That was weird. I'm looking up what this is because I have no idea what Kekai Sensen is.
Blood Blockade Battlefront is its English name.
Oh, I wanted to see this, and I just heard it wasn't really that great. To be
It's-
honest. I heard it
it's
wasn't.
The problem
entertaining.
is it's good. It's it's really pretty. It has some good moments.
It does.
But watching it as it aired was not fun. It'd be like, oh, I'm excited for them to go off this, whatever the plot in this episode is. I'm excited to see them follow that up in the next episode. And then the next episode is just 2 guys playing chess for 20 minutes.
Yeah. It's like Code Geass all over again.
I don't know.
It's
I couldn't.
and it really did repeat that same thing because
Yeah.
it's they kind of started doing a plot thing, like a connected plot thing by episode 8, but that was by episode 8.
Yeah, of 11.
No, 12.
Well, I mean, the 12th one was
Yeah, the 12th one
12th
didn't come
one's-
for a while. I don't want to get too much into the 12th episode because it's a 48-minute episode, and it took 3 months for it to come out, which I was very upset by. But Kekai Sensen was a nice show. It looked nice. It had a good soundtrack. The characters were fun. The writing was... Dialogue was fine, but the plot...
what plot?
What plot? It's just... If you want an entertaining thing for your eyeballs for, I don't know how long, it's the equivalent of 13 episodes of runtime, you could do worse. It's animated by Bones, so that's nice. But if you want a decent story, this is not for you. But Assassination Classroom.
Yeah,
Well,
back to
back
the
to-
topic at
We
hand.
were
Yeah.
so off topic. I cannot say anything about this because I've never seen it. So
Okay, but Assassination Classroom. Okay,
let's actually talk about something that we know.
I really like this show.
This is a really, really good show.
Yeah, this is a show that I read the manga before I watched the anime, and I was really worried that it wouldn't follow it well because the director of this show has proven to me in the past that he can't direct worth jack for some shows, but then he can do a really good job with other shows. So I was like, I hope this is a good one, and it was. I was very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I saw the first half of this in Anime Club. We watched the whole series, the whole first season.
Yeah.
I just kind of fell off one day because I was gone for like a week, so I wasn't able to watch it for that week, and I was so far behind, and I was too busy to catch up to rewatch the episodes. But I didn't want to miss anything because I really liked it, so I just kind of essentially just watched whatever I wanted to watch on my laptop during Anime Club. So I was just watching whatever I felt like watching, and essentially that was my big, dissolve into from watching stuff in club because I didn't want to watch the rest of the stuff like Space Dandy and all that.
Yeah.
So I essentially just wanted to watch Assassination Classroom, but I missed out. But it's okay.
I mean, I
But,
recommend catching up because it really is good.
yeah. Season 2 is currently airing now.
Currently airing.
And
I am behind.
I
Yeah.
hear it's really good so far. From what I've been told, is that this season's really
The
good as well.
first 5 that I've seen, I really liked.
Yeah.
With Assassination Classroom, I think the thing that they do really well is that it's a really great job balancing comedy, action, and just like really good character moments.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Definitely.
Like it's a whole classroom worth of characters. There's like ton of main characters. Like there's a couple of
there's like 3 or 4 main
main characters, but then they'll switch focus like every other episode to like
A new person.
get like a little bit of perspective from this character, and they do a really good job fleshing out all these different characters
yeah.
and giving them all their own unique like voice and personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has the structure of a long-running series, but it executes it perfectly.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Essentially, also Assassination Classroom is what is it about? Which is
I
Wow,
probably
the
mentioned that.
plot of Assassination Classroom.
it's about an alien that goes and destroys the moon and says, "Okay, now I'm going to destroy all of planet Earth," and everyone's like, "Well,
Please don't.
please don't." So then he's like, "Fine, how about I just teach a classroom of kids?" I forgot exactly.
He makes a deal with the government where he's
Oh, yeah.
like, "I'll give you a year to kill me, but in exchange, let me teach these kids."
So these kids are pretty much just kind of like juvenile delinquents.
Not
No,
all
they're
of
just
Not
they're just
all
the
of
kids
them,
that are
but
like they're in like remedial math.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like,
They're failing their classes.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
some
they
of
go
them
to-
are juvenile delinquents.
Yeah, but like they kind of like are told by the government, "Hey, listen, you're gonna get this alien. Now I want you to use our weapons and these guns and go kill your professor while learning at the same time." So he's also their greatest mentor, but also they gotta kill him,
Yeah.
and it's essentially really, really funny,
It's
and
like-
it's just crazy and action packed and
It's like this.
wacky and-
The thing that's so special about this series is that the teacher Koro Sensei, he is like, obviously besides like the kids' parents or whatever, unless
He's
some of
also a
them are
great
like real
emoji-
bad.
He's
Wait, what?
also a really great emoji generator.
That reminds me, I need to get an Assassination Classroom sticker for Telegram,
Oh,
like a sticker
yeah.
pack,
I'm
because
sure-
there's so much potential.
Oh, I know, because if you don't know, whenever he expresses a mood, essentially his face turns into almost like emoji.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
face just like regular. It's literally just a giant smiley face. Like it's just a giant yellow circle with a big smile and like 2 little dot eyes. But like every time it's like he's always smiling. So anytime he feels any emotion, it's just like completely changes like color and just everything. And it can be
Sometimes there's
really
like
funny.
circles on his
Yeah.
face. Sometimes there's a big X.
Like
It's-
yeah.
he can make some pretty silly faces.
Oh yeah,
He's
my
just-
favorite one is the one when he's
The
silver
little-
and it's just the
yeah, the
little
little
dots
white
in the
one
mouth.
with like the little face.
Yeah, that was my favorite in the manga, and that's my favorite in the anime.
Yeah.
Silver was a very good color to choose. But yeah, Assassination Classroom is good stuff, and
Yeah.
Koro Sensei is like, oh, he's such a good character.
He's great. I love him.
He's so good.
Uh,
But anyways,
Last
Last
my
for you.
best was Shimonetta, which
oh,
was
Shimonetta
another
is so
comedy.
Good.
Which it was good to watch weekly.
Yeah.
That was a good weekly show. I don't know if I could watch all of it at once, but weekly.
I
it was
watched the
really
last
funny.
3 episodes in a row, and I had no problem.
Yeah, essentially all it was is that it was a world where dirty jokes are essentially prohibited. You're not allowed to have
Any kind of just
lewd
like
material. You're
yeah.
not allowed to have lewd things.
any kind of
pictures,
coarse language of that kind.
Yeah, so essentially they're all very it's a very desensitized world that they live in, where they don't know what this kind of stuff is. But there's like a
Wait,
terrorist.
desensitized.
That'd be sensitized.
Oh, sorry.
It's very
Sensi-
sensitive.
like
Oh,
it's
yeah, sorry.
sanitary.
They're very
It's
Sorry,
very
it's-
sanitary.
Vocabulary. Okay. So essentially, that's all it is. It's just there's like a terrorist that goes around that like essentially tries to bring dirty jokes back and to try and bring.
Like she throws pictures of like pinups and stuff,
yeah,
and
she
like
wears panties on her head. It's funny.
and she says like, I mean,
Dirty
I don't
jokes.
want to say it on the
No,
show because
no.
then it'd be too much to censor.
She essentially just like says a lot of dirty jokes and essentially is trying to desensitize everyone
From like basically
their sanitary
from their
world.
sanitation, she wants them to be dirty-minded and to think about these things.
And it's really funny and it's entertaining and I would recommend it.
Yeah,
So it's funny.
You know, funny enough, JC Staff animated both Prison School and Shin Mineta.
Yeah.
They both produced it, and they did a really good job. Like Shin Mineta's a very pretty show. Prison School is prettier. Like it just looks really good. Both
Yeah.
of them are fun watches. Both
Yeah.
of them are very, very coarse, which I thought was fine. Like they were both really well written too. I know a lot of people have problems with Shin Mineta because it's like LOL 12-year-old humor. But like I thought the characters were really good.
Yeah.
Like they were all very, colorful and full of personality and stuff like that.
Yeah, essentially.
I'll just quickly talk about Death Parade because this aired a long
All right,
time ago,
we
and
can,
I can't
we can
really
literally
remember
edit
everything.
a lot out, Corey. There's a lot that
There's
dragged
a lot
on.
of stuff.
So we could cut things down. Especially with the Pokemon stuff, and especially.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Wow,
I'm
I guess we
kidding.
could also
Hey,
cut out stuff from
let's-
Green Lantern.
Yeah, we
Let's
could.
cut out every single word that Ryan says.
Yes.
We'll have a pretty
Do it and like edit him out, so like it's just like a blob, like just like a little outline.
Yep. But just so we can wrap this up on time, Death Parade is an anime that aired very early 2015. Same with Assassination Classroom, but that went on till like summer last year. Death Parade was just winter, and this show was kind of special for me because I watched the short film Death Billiards before Death Parade was announced. Before it was even a thing, like I watched Death Billiards and I was like, man, this is such a cool short film. It was like basically the length of an episode. And I was like, oh, I wish this was like a full thing. And then I saw a news article saying, Death Billiards anime confirmed. And I'm like, what's this? This sounds a lot. Oh, it is the same thing as Death Parade. Death Billiards. Death. And, like, it was a very good show. It had a lot of nice, pretty animation. The character development was fantastic. And I love the music. I love the opening. It's such a good opening. And, yeah, it's animated by Madhouse. I know I'm not exactly explaining what the show is about because it's kind of... Would you say it's, like, from the descriptions, it kind of, like... If you talk too much, it kind of spoils, like, the whole concept. Yeah, so... Basically, two people play a game. And it's like a death game kind of thing. Like, if the person loses, theoretically dies. And that's all I can really say about it because there's a lot of twists to that rule and a lot of things that just kind of contradict each other. And it's a very good show. It's absolutely worth the watch.